Salam here. Cord.
Dear Savior, we thank you today for all that you've done for each and every one of us in our lives. We thank you for the price that you paid on Calvary, that we could make a decision to come back into a right relationship with the Father. We thank you for our county and city. Thank you for our people, Lord. That's truly the ones that we work for today. Lord, we pray that you'd help us always to be ready to look into the things that we can that make our county better, our city better, and to serve the people that elected us. I pray that you would be with each and every one, those that are sick, that you'd heal them. And Lord, that you would help us to give you the praise and honor, the glory, for all that you do in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here. At this time, any person with business before the court not scheduled on the agenda may speak to the court. No formal action can be taken on these items at this meeting. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. Ms. Summer.
As for the public hearing that was scheduled for January 6th, my email asking if it had been canceled or postponed was simply a request for that only, nothing, no more details. There was no formal notice that the meeting had been canceled, and there was at least one other person in attendance that day that made a trip to town only to find out that the meeting was canceled. What in turn happened on that day was the judge and Commissioner Williams proceeded to give details as to why the hearing had been canceled. In my opinion, they gave details basically off the record, which should not have been done. It is my suggestion that a future public hearing is canceled, that the court at least make an effort to make it known. Also, I addressed an ongoing issue multiple times before. The issue is obvious to others as well. This court and others in it need to work together. All of you know what this refers to. There are people that watch the videos and that see and hear. Just because you see me here as the only one watching, believe me, others are watching and listening. Remember, you all have bosses, be that the voters or the ones that appointed you. Start working together inside and outside of this courtroom. Leave your personal feelings at home. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll move on to presentation and discussion of department head committee and board reports. There are several. Any thoughts or questions or comments? Maybe, please. All right, any court minutes?
Did y'all get my email to look at them online? I sent an email out and told you I wasn't printing them, but if you would go on to Town and Country Deal and look at them.
I didn't get that one, sorry.
I thought you meant it was going to be on here.
No, I was gonna get you to go ahead beforehand instead of printing out all the fluff.
Yeah, I'd rather you didn't print it.
But we can put it on the other one if y'all want another time to read it. We can add them. I'll have a couple more in by then.
Which meeting?
It was December 2nd.
Okay, here it is. Approval of previous court minutes, none. Air precinct projects, precinct 1 getting started on 1105. Precinct 3 is done with Iowa School. And then consider application for tax abatement. Motion made by Commissioner McCallum, seconded by Commissioner Terry Williams to set a public hearing for the reinvestment zone for solvent energy on December 16th. 5 ayes. Motion made by Commissioner Sean McCallum, seconded by Commissioner Doug Scott, to move banking services for this project and allow the county judge to sign the contract. All agreed. And then consider work steps program, no action on that day. And they're right there.
Okay. Which one? What number?
Under 10,
10?
it's with instead of with.
Okay.
Court is discussing considerable amount of bids on fuel. Motion made by Commissioner Terry Williams, seconded by Commissioner Mitchell to go out for bids on fuel, oil, and grease. Seal coating was left out of this motion to be open January 6th. All agreed. Gravel and asphalt, you didn't do one under gravel.
Well, I did good, guys.
So, yeah,
Let's just move that to next time and I'll start over.
The next one? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I kinda like this. He just reads them.
And then you, okay. Well, let me get the
Ready
errors
for you?
fixed. Let me get my boo-boos fixed.
Mhm.
And I will bring that back next meeting.
In-precinct project schedule and staffing. Anything to discuss?
We're just trying to get to 1105 and start milling it up. Trying to get our new cleach pit open and road built.
Sounds good.
We're making progress.
Where is your new coach built?
It's there, Johnny Joe.
Okay.
Nothing further? All right, we'll go to employee of the month, and unfortunately, our employee of the month this month is in Seattle, Washington. What he's doing up there in the cold and wet, I don't know, but that's his choice. If you know Scotty Prince, you'll know why he was nominated. He was nominated by 4 folks, and he's just a good guy. He works hard, always smiling, always ready to say hello. So congratulations to Scotty Prince for the December 2025 Employee of the Month. All right, accepting donations to county entities. We have 3. Youth Center received $1,500. The library, I'm not going to read Amy's whole list there again, but the total is $5,470. And then the Senior Center received $3,415 and $4,100 for a total of $7,515 and 50 cents. Those are all the donations.
Yeah, they'll make the motion, we accept donations to county entities.
All in favor? We'll go ahead and move on to the public hearing on proposed tax abatement agreement with Solvent Energy. There's one here today, I don't see him. It is 10:07. Okay, when we last discussed with Solvent, we discussed that they needed to have certain things done before, and that was to have an agreement with Campbell's on on making them whole. Has that happened?
No, it hasn't. They did send us an offer. It's very low again. They're offering to move our home for a insubstantial amount of money that's not gonna take care of it. I have talked to a house mover. I'm waiting on a quote back from him to at least have something to say that's not enough. My house is 95 years old and it's roughly 60 by 60. That's not gonna move in one piece, in my opinion. I'm not a house mover, but like, I'm pretty sure we can't run down the highway like that. And the amount of money that they're offering doesn't allow me to purchase the land, to do a foundation, to do water work, to do electricity, to put it all back together and make it whole when I move it. Like, so just an insignificant and amount of money, and then an amount to buy the land that goes with it. Well, livestock is part of our world, and that is not gonna take care of moving me or our life somewhere else. They've also offered that if we stay there, that they're gonna, because solar farms put a chain link fence around their farm, that they're gonna put a tarp type thing around our property, around the fence on our property, so that we don't have to visually look at these solar panels. In all actuality, when I walk to my dumpster, I'm gonna see solar panels. When I drive away from my house or to my house, I'm gonna see solar panels. So, and I don't know, I mean, I would love to ask him if that would be okay for him to live in. He may live, I think he lives in Austin. I think he lives in the city, covered up with houses and fences all around him. I don't. And that was the plan when I moved here, to not live where I was caged in to something. I'm not. I don't want to look out my back door and see a big, like it's an outfield fence, like a tarp. It's not what I came here for. Otherwise, I'd live in Dallas or somewhere, which not the plan. So we did decline that offer. We told him that we would, once we got the quote back from the home mover, we would communicate again. I haven't got that quote back. Unfortunately, I haven't got that quote back yet. So no, an agreement has not been made. I don't know how far I can push.
Do you feel like you're still in negotiations with them at this point? Or no? Do you think?
I feel like,
I don't think so.
I would think that he would come back with something.
Okay.
Was it just in the recent past that was sent a declination of that? Yes, because I was waiting on the home mover thing to have some kind of substantiality to go back to him with, and I don't have that yet.
Okay.
So I do not think that it is a complete non-thing right now. I honestly think there could still be some back and forth.
I agree.
Hopefully.
I agree with you. We discussed what the amount was. No, I don't think that was gonna make you whole.
Yeah, not at all. It's kind of a joke, honestly, my opinion, but is my opinion on my place. Taking out of everything, if that was a property I owned and I didn't live in and I didn't rebuild and I didn't reinvest 7 months of our lives driving hammers, doing all the things in that house, if you take that outside, it was a joke, period. Like if it wasn't
Sure.
what I did.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what we've.
Okay.
So.
All right. So,
In dealing with these agreements and tax abatements, I understand it's pretty much a done deal, which is normally for the county to negotiate 100% for 10 years. I would like to know why you start at the top of the negotiating bar at 100% for 10 years without negotiating maybe a staggering amount for 10 years. It's been done before, the city's done it, maybe the hospital, whoever. You do not have to negotiate from the top and stay there. 10 years, 100%. 9 years, 90%. 8 and on down. Also, you see in the paper where so-and-so made a donation of $10,000 to the Little League or whatever. That's on them. Why can't it be in the agreement, in writing, that each year this entity gives, say, the senior center X amount of dollars every year in writing, not just when they decide to 5 years down the road. Things like that. These are agreements that need to be negotiated without leaving out negotiations. I mean, that's, and I'm not sure why Terry's smiling, but
because
that's
I
my
think
point.
I'll let you answer, but I think it's because we actually do negotiate. I don't,
Exactly.
what we got in this one is that, we requested $1 million up front. All right, they agreed to that. They then came back and said, we're gonna do $2 million up front and lower the payments throughout for the rest of it. These things depreciate about 90% in 10 years. So if you, by the time you get to the end of it, if you do a partial or a decreased amount over that time, the value is not there. And the tax burden that would have been there is gonna end up on the other property owners. So that's why we do those. And I also sent you an email back in June that kind of describes some of the things that happen if we don't do an abatement. And you put out, they're coming anyway, out of the whole email, but I explained to you that production tax credits and power purchase agreements were taken out of the value of wind farms by not by the legislature, when a company sued the appraisal district in Valverde, and it was they won in the fourth court of appeal. So basically what that means is that those production tax credits and the power purchase agreements on wind farms, that's about half of the value of the property. So if a wind farm comes in here and it's $400 million, it's $200 million in tax credits, production tax credits and the power purchase agreements. That value cannot be used for the appraisal. So the appraisal drops from 400 million to 200 million. Appraisal districts across the state follow that. If there's not a tax abatement in place, it affects that entity that does not have those tax abatements. Ira is a very good example of that. They had our schools districts can no longer do tax abatements. They had their values based the year before off of that total value of that wind farm the next year, which was this year. Following this lawsuit, the appraisal district cut those production tax credits and power purchase agreements out of that value, and so the value decreased. So they're trying to figure out, they've had to figure out what they're going to do for that valuation. So there's a reason that we look at these and we do negotiate with them. We also make sure that they're going to make people whole around there. My concern is that they do come in here anyway and they don't do anything for the Campbells. They say, we're just going to forget you and we're just going to put a fence up around you, or not put a fence up around you. We're just going to put solar panels right up to your property if there's no abatement in place. Did you have some issues?
I do,
with
yes, sir.
yours? Let's
Will you please send that to me in my email? I'll send it to you, Judge. My concern is, I bought the Foster's place 3.5 years ago, my wife and I, anticipating this is going to be our forever home. No doubt is this going to decrease the value of my property. We paid top dollar to Rodney Foster. Rodney's obviously the one who's going to lease this land to them. I talked to the gentleman the other day. Thank you, Jeff, for sending his contact to me. Talked to the gentleman the other day. His words to me were, "I'm going to put ribbons in the chain link fence." That's uglier than the chain link fence. In my opinion, we're going to lose our property value to something that we have no control of, and we're giving 100% tax abatement to these folks for no use of us. It's going to come to the county. It's going to come to Scurry County. It's going to stay within this county. It doesn't help anybody, us and the Campbells right across the street from them. If you're going to do something to help us, send us, if we're going to have to sit there and look at this, which I think we're going to have to, I don't think we have a choice, but put a fire hydrant out there can help us on our insurance. Do something to help our taxes. My taxes continue to go up. I've been there for 3 years and they've gone up every year. They're going to go up next year. And you're talking about 10 years of depreciation on these folks. Mine's going to depreciate faster than that, but my taxes are still going to go up. My house is still going to increase in value because the county needs the revenues, and I understand that. My concern is that we're going to let these people come in and we're really not going to fix the roads. And not to Jeff's, I'm not going to throw Jeff under the bus here, but I moved in 3 years ago when they did the repower at RWE. There are ruts in those roads from them tracking the cranes across the roads that haven't been fixed yet. They're not, I don't even think they're in the plans to be fixed. And that's not a stick at Jeff, because Jeff came in later in there also. But I drive down that road every single day. I'm going to live across the street from those, and that's my front yard. I'm going to open my front door and I'm going to look at that. If they came to your house and knocked down 20 houses in front of you and put it up in front of your house, you would be a little concerned yourself.
Sure. I
live rural because I want to live rural. I don't want to live in a city. I don't want to live around a bunch of junk. I love cotton farming. I love all the farmers around me. I like to see that. I don't like to see a solar farm. Luckily for me, all the wind turbines are behind my house, so I don't have to look at those. But I'm going to have to walk out my front door every day and look at these solar farms. And it is an eyesore. It's not good. I don't even think they work, to be honest with you. I'm a local business owner, used to own Warrior Technologies. We've worked in 1 million of these solar farms, and you walk in there and there's one guy running the whole solar farm. So it's not gonna help the community as far as jobs are concerned, period. They're gonna bring in outside employees, they're gonna build these things, and then they're gonna have one guy that's gonna work there, and he's gonna be remote. So he may not even be in the community, so it's not gonna help the community at all. And all that power is going somewhere else. We all know that. It's not staying here. So why do we give these guys these huge tax abatements and hope that they're gonna help us out? Because we know they're not. Those are my concerns.
So let me ask you this. What if they come anyway?
I'm
Because
assuming
by the
they're
time
coming
they come
anyway,
to us-
whether we like it or not.
Yeah, by the time they come to us, they've already pretty much lined up all of the land
Yeah.
that they're gonna lease.
I've been in business a long time. I understand that before they ever come to us, they've already got agreements made.
Right.
I know they've already got agreements made with Rodney Foster. Rodney asked me what I thought about him the day that I paid for the house. So I knew that he was already in talks with them anyways. I know they're coming. But what do we get out of it? How are we gonna get $180,000 for their house? Ridiculous.
I agree,
Ridiculous.
I agree.
They're not even offering me anything, which I don't want anything. I don't want them to buy my house. I didn't buy that house to sell it. I bought the house to live in,
Sure, but
to raise a family in.
I guess what I'm asking is, if we do an abatement or not, are they still gonna put them right around your property?
Most likely, yeah.
What,
But do we give to them 100% and let them build it anyways?
It's not
That's my,
It's payments to the county, to the college, to all of the taxing entities.
what about the Cumberland community?
Look at the
What about
school
what?
that they built for
RWE built that school and now we're having a bond meeting right now to fix the crap that they halfway built.
them. The wind farm didn't help pay for that school.
No, the wind farm did help pay for the school, but now we're having a bond meeting to try to fix the junk that was built by the wind farm with the taxes that were paid there. There was a bond to do that. The community paid for a lot of that also.
Are you
It's
saying
not
that-
just RWE. They're the biggest tax collector in the county. I don't have the exact numbers, but they're the number one taxpayer in that county.
But some contractor built the school, not this wind farm, surely.
No, that's correct.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you said RWE built the school. You just said that.
The
A
wind farm-
contractor built that school. That's correct.
Yeah.
And
And
they've been
so-
fighting it ever since.
Are you saying that the contractor did a bad job? Is that
Yes.
what you're saying? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. And so,
So you're gonna give these guys at the turbine, the solar farm, you're gonna give them a tax abatement.
Mhm.
And all that money's gonna come to Scurry County, it's gonna come to Snyder around the surrounding areas. What I'm saying is, how do we know that any of that money's gonna come to us? They're gonna build it anyways. There's no doubt that if this goes through the build the solar farm, I'm gonna have to live with it.
okay, if you don't do the abatement, then we get nothing. And you get the.
We get nothing anyways.
No,
That's
the
what I'm saying.
county and the taxing units do get a lot of money, millions from it.
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
because you're taxing them. My taxes go up
No.
every year also.
So it's payments in lieu of taxes.
Exactly. So what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, why don't we just tax them right off the bat?
Because of whenever.
Tax them at a higher rate.
Well, you can't tax them except for what the appraisal district and
But
what.
you're trying to give them a discount on moving in and building stuff in front. Let them build it in front of your house.
Because
See
of
if
the
you like it.
roads. Without a road use agreement, they can tear up your roads all day long.
They're gonna tear it up anyways, is what I'm
I
saying.
got $3.5 million to repair mine. From them. I negotiated it myself. I got $250,000.
So how much are we getting for the road right in front of my house that they're fixing to tear up?
That's not my precinct. If they tear your road up, then.
Jeff, how
will
much
be
did you
the one-
negotiate for them to come in and tear our roads up?
We haven't,
Well, that's half.
that's just in the road use agreement that they agree to come back and fix what's done, and that's when we'll have to do it after the
And
fact.
RWE, you had the same tax benefit, didn't they? Did they come back and fix them after they did the repower?
They did
Some.
pay a little, but we
They did some. They didn't do the roads that they tore. They didn't do every road they tore up.
I
That's my
repair
concern.
own roads with the money. I don't let them do it.
That's my concern.
And it,
I get nothing, the county gets nothing, the school gets nothing, college gets nothing if there's no tax abatement.
and I can understand.
Can you
where
send me
he's
the
coming from.
documentation so I can read it?
They're getting millions otherwise.
And I understand where Billy's coming from, because Sean ran into the same thing, we had lots of damage, but we were fought with, we didn't have the experience to deal with them. And they come, oh, we're out of money.
That's exactly
And
right.
that's- It is a concern, and I do agree with you on, I've talked about this, what benefits is it to the citizens, and yes, it is payment and lien of taxes. I just don't, I'm kind of with them. I mean, what benefit as a homeowner do the Campbells get, and what does Billy get?
And that's what I want to make sure that y'all are made whole before this is.
I don't want to be made whole.
Okay.
It's not about money for me.
So,
My opinion is that we talked to Lloyd when he was here, and he told us that he would have this squared up before the next deal, and he has not upheld his end of the deal.
He reached out to me last Wednesday, the first time I talked to this gentleman.
Well, it seems like to me, they said that we sell out for $1 to $2 million, I mean, they come in and they give us $1 or $2 million. And then we take that money and then first thing I hear is that, well, we can rebuild the courthouse and not have to raise taxes. Well, yeah, that's where that money comes from, is those pilot funds. Instead of going back to the roads and fixing up what they tear up in the reinvestment zone, that money is being used for pet projects. And from what I heard on the video of the last meeting that this was discussed at, is that, well, we're gonna use that money for a siren system, for a first warn system, So it's already been dog-eared for that to go in there. And my phone, it'll give me a first warning. If there's a weather project problem or something out of the ordinary, my phone does that. We don't need to spend $1 million or $2 million on a siren system for Snyder. We won't ever hear it if it was down. So I don't know. To me, you're taking money that says, well, this is $1 million and we didn't raise taxes to do a certain pet project, but did that not go back? Why couldn't that money go back to the general fund? Or why couldn't it go to road and bridge? Or why couldn't it be used to fix the things that are torn up?
I do get that money to fix my roads.
You what?
I do get the money outside the pilot payments to fix my roads.
the road use agreements.
The road use agreements does that. That has nothing to do with pilot payments.
And so with that, with this one, I'm only talking about this one. It's about $5 million over the 10 years that they would pay. When I asked them for money up front, it was for something that's going to be a community benefit, not to benefit. So the $1 million for the sirens, all right? There's not all of us, you can get the alerts on our phones. Over the last 15 years, since we haven't had the sirens, I've had a lot of people come to us and say, we use those sirens, we could use those sirens. And we're not talking about sirens just for Schneider, we're talking about for all of the communities, Fluvanna, Hermley, Ira, and Snyder.
My phone will do that, Dan.
Your
phone
phone
will
will,
do
but
that.
not everybody's do.
My mother's would.
It's just a setting.
And not everybody wants that. There's a lot of seniors in this community who don't have the help to get those. So that's where that came in. So it's not about pet projects. It's about putting the money that's gonna make the facilities better or make the community better. It's not about pet projects. So I kind of take a little bit of.
Well, I mean, it would help the entire county if the money went back into the general fund. That would help the entire county. It would help our tax burdens.
It actually wouldn't, because once those end, we're getting about $3 million at the peak of this, and then it drops off quickly to $1 million and then to no dollars. And that is gonna end up right back on the taxpayer's burden. It's the same thing as they depreciate. As they depreciate, you've had how many projects? 11 projects come in the last that are coming in about a 3 or 4 year span, and you're talking about a $1.6 billion valuation. In 10 years, that valuation drops to 10% of that. And where does that burden go? It's because they're renewables, their valuation drops that much. Whether we give an abatement or not, they're gonna come to this area and that value is gonna drop, and then the burden's right back on you. What we need is something that takes this energy and uses that energy. And we need to diversify where we're not reliant on wind and solar and oil, where the values drop. That's what we're looking at. Every time we get a new administration, the price of oil either goes up or down, and that burden either goes back on everybody else or not. So, and mineral owners are 80% of the property owners in this community. So, you know,
We should
we're
give them
trying
a
to
tax
find,
abatement.
I'm sorry?
We should give them a tax abatement. They've been good for the county.
Billy, what are you thinking here? What would be a solution for you? Because whether we do
Tell
or
you what
not,
the solution is.
yeah, because what I'm saying is abatement or no, they're probably gonna be there anyway.
I just think that it would benefit the county or our community if some of that money went to bringing us some fire hydrants.
Okay.
That I have a huge insurance bill. Jeff's got a
Sure.
huge insurance bill because we're 20 miles from Snyder, 20 miles from Sweetwater, 20 miles from any fire hydrant. If you're going to make anybody happy in our community, and I'm not speaking for the whole community, but I'm speaking for myself. If you want to help us out, and I'm going to have to look at that junk in my front yard every day that's going to dilapidate and fall apart, and then it's going to be on Rodney to fix it, and he's not gonna. I want a benefit out of there that's going to help me in the long run.
Okay, how do we get the water out there to it?
Where's the nearest water hydrants? I'm assuming it's out by
Hermley,
Big
out of Hermley.
Hermley, and that system is just large enough for Hermley.
How do we update the system to make it large enough for the community, surrounding communities?
Those are all on a well system. And so
Let's
I don't
start
know
drilling some water wells. Rodney's got 20 of them sitting on that property right there. Let's start drilling water wells. They're gonna go in there and drill holes, knock out every bit of that drip irrigation and tear those water wells down. There's 20 water wells right there that support that whole farm.
So maybe
There's
you ask
plenty of
them,
water.
maybe you ask them for the water.
Let's negotiate. You guys are negotiating, let's negotiate it.
Well, we can negotiate for the county.
Sure.
Is that not a county benefit?
I can tell you as an insurance agent, that is a major benefit to have a fire hydrant within your
Sure.
range. I can tell you that I quote daily because if you're more than 10 miles from our fire department, there are a number of companies that you can't deal with because they will not. You have to go on a farm and ranch policy or whatever.
Sure.
Having a water hydrant within a certain area of your house is a major thing as far as insurance cost.
I understand that. I'm thinking logistically, because it's not just you two that's out there. There are a wide number of houses and there are miles between them.
We only have to be within a square miles. Is it 10 miles?
Well, you have to be within 2 miles of the fire station, but within a hydrant.
20
you
miles of
put-
a hydrant or something like that.
Yeah, it's,
There's a square foot, there's a mileage,
There's a-
a radius
Sure.
that qualifies you for a
What's the
A good
deduction that you've seen for having a fire hydrant close to your home? How much off of the insurance premium?
I pay $1,000 a month more on my insurance because I don't live close to a fire hydrant.
Okay, I don't live close to a fire hydrant, and I was gonna drill an irrigation well and put a fire hydrant.
They wouldn't let me, the
And I
insurance
called them
company
and
wouldn't let
asked them what it would reduce my premium by with Allstate, $50.
Oh.
So you need to really find out what that would do for your particular place. Because $50 I'm not gonna drill a $15,000 well for $50.
You're clearly for this, so you have a
No,
biased opinion. anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I just called them for myself.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do
Well,
with it.
mine's a Farm Bureau, and I've been there for 20 some odd years.
I don't want any of these companies coming here and tear up my roads and not pay for them. And the only way I can get them to do that is with a road use agreement and abatement.
I'm fine with a road use agreement and an abatement. I just don't want to give them the world.
No,
They're coming anyway, so why are we negotiating the world with them? Why are we giving them all and not taking anything out of it?
$5 million over a 10-year period is nothing.
To me, no.
No, it's.
How much is it gonna cost to build a solar farm?
Well, that's their deal.
Exactly. So they may cost them $300 million to build a solar farm. $5 million, it may cost them $1 billion to do it. $5 million is zero to them.
Well, they've got investors and they've got to make some,
I'm well aware of that. I've been in business for 20 years with a lawyer who's a half-assed crook. I'm well aware of that.
It's
I
just
know how
like
this works.
Invenergy, first one that came here, gave the college $250,000 for the Coliseum. These guys give a lot over time.
They don't give as much as you would if you pushed them.
push them to what limit?
It's your job to negotiate with the county, is it not?
If you give them a tax, that's what we've been doing always.
So $5 million valuation is a decent, it's decent to you,
$5 million in our coffers plus repairing our roads.
that they're not gonna repair?
They don't repair them, I do. With the money that I get from
What
them
precinct do you live
outside
in? I'd like to go drive around and look at your roads.
precinct 1. You can drive 1105 and Kent Springs Road and 1101. Those are the roads we're about to repair. With the 3.5 million that I have.
Okay,
We're about to mill them. We're gonna mill them all.
great. I hear it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'll go drive the roads and see what it looks like on that county.
Let's
And that's-
get back on track.
Well, it's tore up right now. But they just finished the project.
You're saying water.
Yes. Fire hydrants close enough to the surrounding community that would help us out. Except for his, he wants $50.
Maybe an insurance company can give me $1,000 less a year. I mean, that's 15-year payout still.
Go ahead, Jason.
Oh, can I separate myself from the EMS director position just for a second?
Sure. You're a citizen.
Okay. As a citizen of Scurry County, I think it's wise when we look at these companies to come in to assist us with funding for infrastructure. And whatever that infrastructure is, whether it's county infrastructure or city infrastructure, I think it's wise to negotiate those infrastructure improvements in, whether that's streets, roads, culverts, et cetera, et cetera. I just think it's wise to negotiate those. You guys may be doing that, I don't know. But I think it's any type of infrastructure that we can build that we need for growth, I think it's very important in the negotiation.
And so in this agreement, when they say, and he upped it to 2 million up front to be used however the county sees fit.
So let me ask, you asked for $1 million, he upped it to $1 million? I mean, he doubled you?
Yeah.
Tell me there's not negotiation. I mean, there's room for stuff.
That's
That's all I'm saying.
There
That's
is, and that's,
reduced from the full payment though.
that's what I'm saying. So coming in today, if they hadn't made anybody whole, I was a no, and I told them that at the last meeting. You know, I don't want them to come in and surround the Campbells with solar without making them whole, without them giving
Yep.
them a decent offer on that. And I don't want them to do the same thing to you either.
Yep.
You know, and if we
I don't
can
either. I would
use some of those funds to install a system that's gonna, yeah, absolutely, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
You know, cause it's not just about getting payments from them and bringing them in, it's about making sure that y'all are taken care of as well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's what it feels like. It feels like we're just gonna get $2 million in our coffer, and then who cares about the guy that has to live across the street from him? You know,
no,
you're only gonna have to see him when you drive down 84. I gotta open my front door every day.
Sure, and I'll tell you this, on the first time we've had property owners that are gonna be affected, this is the first time that y'all have come in.
Yeah. Well,
It hadn't
that's
happened
the
in
first
in
I've ever
other
been.
abatements, it's the property owners that are right there. We haven't had y'all come in, so I appreciate y'all being here
Yeah.
and giving some input.
Absolutely.
Well, the fact of the matter is, Solid Energy has not upheld their end of the bargain with the Campbells.
Sure.
That's cut and dry. So, and by him not being here, our last court meeting, as Dan said, he said that it would be taken care of. Well, it's not, okay? It sounds like to me, Solid Energy make promises they couldn't keep or won't keep. And I'm not gonna vote for any of this until they live up to their end of the bargain with Campbell, because he said it's here in court.
I think that's what we agreed to.
It is, and that's what I'm getting at, is
I agree with that. My concern is that I would like to give more time to solve it, to be able to fix the issues that they have not resolved yet. And we can talk about, you know, with them further about water systems and hydrants and whatnot.
I mean, it'll benefit them too. They're gonna have to carry insurance on that stuff too.
So, I mean, there's an ocean right there.
I'm in no way giving them grace, but I am gonna stand up to the fact that it took us a little bit to get back to them.
Sure.
I'm gonna give them that benefit because they couldn't pull an email out of me if I didn't have one to give.
Sure.
So, but I'm not giving them grace as to what they're offering me because it's not,
No, and that's,
it's not there to give.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And that is the only reason I'm saying, if they had, if it was on them at this point,
Right.
yeah, it would be a done deal. But as you said, it's just been in the last week. that
It was
we've
over
been
the
able-
holidays and it was,
Right,
yeah, I mean,
so,
I will give that benefit.
Well, I don't know about everybody else's constituents, but mine either say no tax abatement or not 100%. I've got where I agree with that. Why are we giving 100% 10 years?
that absolutely can be discussed.
That's the way Grandpa, that's the way we've always done it. That's a lot of
That's
it.
basically what it is.
It
And
is.
that's my least favorite term.
With the exception that every year since the first one, we have asked for 4% inflation rate when it was 11.9% over the last 2 years. It went to 11.9 and they paid it. They paid the inflation rate for those 10 years because purchasing power money goes down over that period of time. And so, I mean, it's worked very well.
Well,
And they are paying a lot of money, but they're also not just paying Scurry County, they're paying the hospital, we're paying the schools.
Is there any more public comment? Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a question, Judge Hicks.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the tax abatement agreement already signed off on?
No.
So you still could negotiate the payments in lieu of taxes, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think you should take the input that we have here, and can you add in that the people that are living adjacent to it have to be reimbursed at a certain level, maybe 125% instead of just made whole? Because of the inconvenience of having to look at the dumb solar panels all the time?
I don't know if we can or not. That's a legal question that I know. I know, but that's a legal issue that I've never looked into. So,
Okay,
I don't know if it's actually legal to put that type of language into these agreements. But we can say no until they do.
have you looked at other counties and what kind of agreements they're having? Because I
Yes,
know a couple of them have like a fixed plus a percent of their, or a dollar for their capacity that they're gonna produce.
Yes, ma'am, and we do
Right.
that. We do a fixed dollar for the capacity, and it's depending on.
Yeah, but you don't add okay, 100,000 plus that. And one of the counties I looked at had done that.
Okay.
So that's an option. And then another concern I have is that I know that the Lumina BESS came online and was supposed to start paying us January of 2026. And that agreement was done in, I believe, August of 2024. And yet their payment that was due was not included in our 2026 budget. So I'm wondering why that was and how that slipped through the cracks.
It didn't actually slip through the cracks. So
No.
all of the payments are kept out of the tax rate. They're put into Fund 29, which is a fund that we set aside that is specific for those tax abatements to go to. We don't calculate those against the tax rate because when they come off, everybody else's, the tax rate is gonna go up.
Well, this isn't a renewable project according to their application. So I thought that was for renewable projects that have that
It's-
real
It's
decrease.
for the abatements. Well, actually, those batteries, those BESS projects, they do depreciate 90%.
And then that's another concern I have with their application is they say at the end of the life cycle, they're just gonna turn it over to us and we can use it for 100 years if we want it. So why is that if it depreciates so rapidly and what's gonna happen to the
Well,
batteries?
they'll tell you that the project, that that these projects will last 25 to 40 years. That's the life cycle of these projects, but the depreciation is in the first 10 years.
So they depreciate, but that doesn't mean they have no value.
Correct.
I just, I'm concerned at the end that they're just gonna bring the application, they're just gonna hand it over. Whether it's at 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, they're just gonna leave without taking care of the batteries and things there. And I also have environmental concerns about the batteries that are there. Do you negotiate fire agreements with them in case there's a fire from them? That sort of thing.
We've been talking to them about fire handling equipment out with the batteries because of that.
Good. Good.
Because
But I
of it.
mean, it's strange to me that we're approving the abatement without having the abatement agreement finalized.
We're not approving it today.
Okay.
We do the public hearing and then we would vote on whether we were approving it or not. So it's not finalized and it sounds to me like it's a no today.
Okay,
It's back to the drawing board. So
thank you.
nothing is done today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, and can we get the copy of the abatement agreement that you have up there? Was that included?
Yeah, it's a public record now. So yes, you can go online and pull it off of
It'll be
the,
part of the notes that come out?
well, it's now on when you go to the website
Mhm.
to get the agenda, you can get it under there.
Thank you.
Are you saying that they're not talking about in the land use agreement that they're not removing the solar panels and the concrete and the batteries whenever at the end of the life cycle?
As far as I know, everything I've seen, their application, for example, said they're just gonna turn it over. So I read their application pretty closely and it's pretty vague about what's gonna happen at the end. And it's also vague as far as what the county or the community benefits are. It has big numbers, but it has no backup for how they got those numbers or where they came from or how they calculated those benefits.
Okay, so you're not talking about the contract with the landowner. You're talking about the contract with the county.
I'm talking about their abatement application.
Yeah. See, the owner of the land is the one that would have that terminology in there where they take the land back to where it's to be, not the county. That's who would do it. The landowner must negotiate with them. That's just like they negotiate how much they get per megawatt or whatever in their payments. So the landowner's the one that definitely, some of the landowners didn't even think about it. I talked to some of them, just like the wind turbines that were taken out down on 180, there was 22 3 megawatt towers that were taken down and they didn't even specify and they didn't know to. They were using an attorney, they thought that he was doing good and they didn't take the blades off, which are fiberglass or carbon fiber. And whenever they just shot the things off at the bottom and they fell over and fiberglass went everywhere.
Right.
And which makes it very difficult to put sheep or
And
cattle
those are
or
poisons.
anything like that on there.
Yeah.
And so that landowners definitely need to make sure that when they say we're gonna put the land back the way it was, they were only gonna go 18 inches on their huge bases, their concrete bases that were 20, 30 foot deep. And they called me and asked me, and I'm not the landowner, but I told them, I said, you can't do that. You said you would take it back to its original place because how deep do grass roots go?
Right.
You know, they go 18 feet.
That's a big issue.
You can't grow grass on top of
And
those things.
landowners often don't have
You're saying no?
the resources to hire the really super duper attorneys. I suggest that we put in our agreement that if they, as they're negotiating with the landowner, they have to pay the landowner's attorney's fees.
They do up to $1,500.
Good.
Solvent does, up to $1,500. So probably
Up to
I'm
1,500, that's
I'm
like,
over that already.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say, can we put in our agreement somehow where they need to pay for their attorney's fees? I know in one of the counties I saw, they charged attorney's fees to the company and they paid it, so.
For the county, right?
Yeah, for the county.
Yeah.
I don't know that we can legally require them to pay landowners' attorney's fees.
That would have to be part of my negotiation, but I'm assuming.
Well,
Yeah.
Like,
do you have an example lease that you would like to provide to the landowners so that they have a little bit more knowledge about it?
Can't speak for the
County?
We don't,
Like, they're all on their own?
yes, ma'am, that's all, most of that is done before it even gets to us. All the land is either leased or purchased before they even come to us generally. This is an exception to that rule. In every one that we've had before, everything was done, so.
we've been dealing with this since March at least, and some of the land has been changed over since 2018, like as far as a name. So it's been going on for a while. We've been in it since March. So
Dan, is it possible for the county to make a deal basically with the Campbells that maybe a right of refusal type situation where if this goes through, then the county acquires the Campbell's property at X amount of money, and then you roll that amount of money back into the agreement, and then you've got positive control over what takes the Campbells, what makes them whole.
I don't think I understand what you're saying.
Basically, the county has an agreement to buy the Campbell's property. I mean, the county buys the Campbell's property and then resells it to the
Project?
solar project, as part of the tax agreement or the tax abatement. It's all part of the agreement.
I don't think that we can legally do that.
They're not
Well, the
interested-
county can buy
they're not
property,
interested in
correct?
buying- These
I'm sorry?
places are leasing this land, they're not interested in buying it, because when they're done, they're not gonna care what that land looks like, they're just gonna leave.
But
So
the
they
county
don't
can,
wanna own land that's gonna be crap when they leave, they just wanna lease it and be done. When they're done, they don't care what the land's gonna look like.
But he
It
said
will
the county can
never
what?
be returned to what
the
it was.
county can buy property, correct? They don't have to go out for bids on all property and whatnot. Isn't that like, where you purchase property in order to put the new EMS building and all that?
It would have to be for a public purpose,
Mhm.
and that wouldn't be a public purpose, that'd be for an individual.
We can't purchase personal property from an individual.
It's gotta be a public purpose.
It has to be a public.
Public
Well, I
lands
mean,
can do it.
On the other hand, if you purchase the property and then you leased it to the solar company, then the county would be responsible for making sure that that property was put back in place at the end of those too. So, you would have more control over what happens with that property if you did
And just this
purchase it.
last year, we looked
And
at
there is
buying
an
a property
eminent
and the
domain.
public just exploded over us buying that property. So, I mean, and I think you were one of them. So now you're telling us to buy a property, you know?
I can't see any logic in buying however many acres you have, 18 acres in the middle of a huge solar farm. There would be no sense in the county owning 18 acres in the middle of nowhere, just.
I don't know that, I don't know, I'm not gonna speak for him, but I don't know that wasn't just a negotiation tool, like,
Sure.
would it be a tool? I don't know, I'm not.
I don't think we'd be able to do that.
But we are standing with you
Yes, I appreciate that.
on your negotiations,
I appreciate
trying
that.
to get you the right price for your property.
Yes.
And like I mentioned, if we don't do the abatement, they're likely to come in and just go around you without doing anything at all. And so that's my concern for y'all, for both of you.
But it's probably gonna happen anyway, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they won't give them even a dollar.
We can, the abatement is a bargaining chip.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I don't agree with the debate, but what I'm saying is that give the community something out of it.
Absolutely, I agree with
That's what
that.
I'm
And
saying.
that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
you know, with this one and with the last one that we were discussing was something that's going to benefit the public.
Yep.
And I like the idea of the water system behind it, and if we can make it happen.
Especially with all the wells that are there on that property, you can negotiate with them.
There's plenty of water in the area, I know there.
There's five north of my house. One of them feeds my house. So if they come in and build a solar farm, do they punch through my water line and I have no water then at my house?
Sure.
I don't own the wells. I have with the purchase of my house to use the well. So there's 5 there, you know,
Are they household wells or irrigation wells? Do you know how deep they are?
they're irrigation wells
Okay.
and
So they
one,
put out a lot of water.
one comes to my house. So.
Good.
I mean, it's an irrigation well, but it's split off, it's teed off to me and then the irrigation, so.
Sure.
Is there any further public comment? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public comment section. Thank you all. I appreciate all the input. I'm assuming that we're going back to the drawing board on this one, so
That's what I think we need to do. Till we hold up very little bargain.
you want to look at it. April? And we can, I'll put it back on the agenda to discuss a public hearing, but the soonest would be April, I would assume. I'll reach out to Lloyd, see what what amount of time he needs to be able to put all this together. And if they want to go forward with it. So no action, that's what we'll do now.
No action on the agreement itself and relook at it in April.
Right, on the agreement and on the levies. On both.
But
11 through 14. They're all tied to solid energy.
Again, thank y'all, appreciate it. Y'all can stick around if you want to, but you don't have to for the rest of it. All right, court to discuss and consider water supply agreement for precinct 1. Scurry, with you.
Yes, sir.
This.
Not like the water wells we've been talking about out in Hermley. There is no water once you get past about 8 miles out on 1105. And so I asked the Crosses if they would be willing to allow us to set up a frac tank and use they've got an irrigation well there, and to fill it up and us use that as water, rather than us having to come all the way back to town, which we had been doing, or having to go all the way over to 180, which is a long way, to get water. And so they agreed to do that. Gave you the agreement, Judge. And so I would make a motion that you allow Precinct 1 to have an agreement with the Cross family to obtain water from them. For the work, we did a trade agreement for the work that we were doing and the frac tank was $23,000. And so we're going to take that out in water. And then we will pay them 50 cents per barrel for the term of the agreement.
After the initial
And we take out,
300 and whatever transport loads you said.
yes, sir.
383.
So I'll make a motion that Precinct 1 be allowed to use water from the Crosses.
I have a question on this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Before a motion is made. Okay, so basically in the agreement, you're gonna get as much water as you need from them, and they're gonna be allowed to sell whatever they want after that. You're talking about a daily basis, is that if you go out there and drain that tank, there's no water for them to sell. Next day you go out there and you take half of that, and there's half frac tank for them to sell at whatever cost, whatever price they want to sell it at. That gives them the option to undersell anybody else that's gonna be selling any type of water, which seems unfair to anybody else in the business of selling their own water, for one thing.
Who's out there anywhere near them?
I don't have a clue, but I'm just saying, there are people that have put in water stations at their own expense.
So you want the county to pay for diesel to go 10 miles to get water and then pay the same price?
No one was offering this to any other person that wanted to put in a water station before.
We've got
That's not my
water.
argument. My argument is that they're gonna be able to sell their water for probably less than what anybody else will. That's all.
No, they're actually higher than a lot of the
The
folks that
county's
we.
paying for their expense of setting up a water station, basically.
No, we are actually getting the money back that, in trade for the water.
And then in the end, they have their own water station, basically.
Well, if
They're
they
gonna
paid for
continue
it,
to make money off of it.
of course they are. They paid for it by that time. So if they paid for it, they can do anything they want to with their water. Just like all the other stations do.
And it's this 8 years. You're just gonna continue to use this for 8 years.
Yeah, we don't have any water out there and we have a lot of cleachy roads.
Okay.
So we need the water to be able to maintain those roads. It doesn't rain here very much. And so it's gonna be a boon to the county, to precinct 1, to not have to spend money on diesel to go back all the way to town. And besides the time, by the time you get out there at the second load, all the water you put out in that first load is gone. And
It's
so
gonna be a boon to the property owner because they're having a water station pretty much built for them at taxpayer expense.
that is not true.
It is true.
No, it is not. The money is coming back to the county by the trade. It costs us nothing for 303 loads.
I understand that.
Well, that's,
But at the end of
Didn't-
8 years, they're still gonna have a water station out there.
it's not gonna take me that long to get 303 loads of water. Now, I can use my motion
All right, so there's a
and
motion.
allow you to sign
Any
it.
further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? No opposed? All right, thank you. All right, quick
Can I
discussion.
say something? I'm Becky Cross, and the Cross family is actually doing the county a favor. We don't have to do this.
I understand that.
We don't need the money, we don't need a water station as of right now. We don't even have the thought of selling water right now. And so when Terry came to us, yes, it's gonna benefit our roads, and so we're not doing this to make money. And so.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cross. All right, court discuss and consider consulting service agreement. Jason? Fitch Consulting, is that right?
Fitch?
Yes, sir. Fitch and Associates?
Okay. So Commissioner Court, and Judge, we are looking at a couple of different audits this year that are outside our norm that we generally don't do. One is a professional consulting service agreement with Fitch and Associates that allows us to look at all our billing practices from our current third-party billing company, ABS, as well as our practices in-house. We've been in operation for almost 19 years now, never done an outside audit on that. The OIG is always looking at different ways, especially now with fraud and abuse, to come in and look and audit Medicare and Medicaid billing practices, and as well as Blue Cross Bill and some of the commercial insurances. So what this allows us to do is take a handful of our claims and review them at the OIG level audit by this consulting company, and make sure that we're documenting the way we're supposed to be documenting, that we are billing the way we're supposed to be billing. Kind of holds everybody accountable. They give us a report of recommendations on what to do, what not to do, or you guys are doing great, continue what you're doing. If they will start with 40 to 50 claims. If they find that there's an issue, they will expand on those 40 and 50 claims at no charge until they can determine what the solution or the problem is. Again, we've never done something like this. The second one that will come up in addition to this later in the year is the Texas Department Insurance audit, the TDI audit. And that will look at audit on how our rates are, how we came up with our rates, and we'll provide that to the TDI. But this one is specifically for a overall view of billing practices.
So let me clarify one statement. You said we have never done an outside audit. So it's not misinterpreted. Outside audits are done every year, but not this type of.
Sure, Conley & Company does an outside audit that Angela oversees or helps oversee with that. That is the entire ambulance service, correct, Angela?
This is specific to billing
Yeah,
practices.
this is
beyond the, scope of what Conley and Company does.
So this is in addition to our outside audits, okay?
Why the so high of insurance rates? I mean, amounts that they're asking you to provide? 3 million and 1 million, is that the same, is that the contract I was looking at?
For us to pay? No.
That's for the audit,
That's
people
how
that
much
have
insurance.
insurance.
Okay,
The consultant carries that.
okay, gotcha.
Yes, it's kind of like their insurance policy.
I guess I got that confused with the the ice machine.
And the rate's 7,000 a year, Jason? The rate's 7,000 a year?
And it's up to us if we do it every year. Again, we've never done one. And it's good practice to do one every year, but not necessarily have to say that we need to do one every year, maybe one every 2 years or every 3 years or however the course is. A lot will depend on what our billing or what the report comes back with. You know, I feel, of course I'm biased, that we're doing an excellent job and we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing, but I've never gone through an OIG audit either and don't plan on it. And this is one of the helpful prevention measures to keep us from doing that. EMS compliance is becoming a bigger issue. You see us more in the news than ever before with people billing incorrectly and getting fined. Some of us have even gone to jail over fraud and abuse. And so this is just a helpful measure that not only protects me as the EMS director, it helps protects the ambulance service and the county and you as commissioners and the judge from overseeing us. So it's an insurance umbrella that kind of identifies what we can improve on, what we're doing good and what we're not doing good, and then make adjustments to that so that we're more compliant with our federal contracts, such as Medicare and Medicaid.
So if we talk to this outside audit company, is there a chance we can get you put in jail?
There is a chance always for me to go to jail. I'm always pushing the envelope.
Is this agreement for 1 year initially, or?
It's 1 year audit, yes. You'll pay the initial upfront cost, and then after the audit, you'll pay the second installment.
It's probably not a bad idea, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's the right thing to do.
Even if it comes back perfect or whatever.
Right.
They know, we know.
I just didn't know it's such a hazardous job to audit people. I guess it is.
You have no idea.
Well, look, if he goes to jail.
Run over with your ambulance.
Sean makes a motion to approve. Jeff has seconded. Any further discussion?
Who made the motion?
I did.
Sean,
And who seconded?
Jeff.
Jeff.
All in favor? All right, don't start. Lease agreement for an ice machine for the new EMS building.
All right, so this is one of the things that kind of keeps me out of trouble. Judge and Commissioner's Court, as I've been made aware of, all lease agreements need to come through Commissioner's Court. And so I am bringing this lease agreement to you, and I got 2 different quotes, 2 different lease agreements, West Texas Fire, and the other one through Shar, yeah, that they are the ones that at one time or another did some heating and air conditioning work. Is it correct, Doug?
West Texas Fire?
No, heating and air conditioning, Mike Scharcher.
He was the better, wasn't he?
So I don't know, anyway, it don't matter. So one, I also included the purchase of the ice machine from each company, and then the lease agreement per month from each company, for our ice machine at the station. And so, West Texas Fire did come $100 a month below, and their ice machine, I believe, was $1,000 cheaper to purchase it, so. If I remember right. Yeah, I was correct. Well, the purchase price was about the same, $6,000 a piece to purchase. But the lease agreement, Mike, was $295 a month, and West Texas Fire with a little bit bigger machine came at $285 a month for lease. So I've never leased an ice machine, and never even owned an ice machine. So I don't know if it's better to lease or purchase, but
What's did you add up the total cost of the lease over the 3-year period?
3 years, well, 285 times.
Yeah.
Cheaper to buy.
So it is probably cheaper to buy it, but I don't know about the filters. Because of our hard water, they come in, they maintain the filters, the machine breaks, they come in and replace it with another machine. So I don't know.
$285 a month.
I noticed that Manatech did furnish filters, but I thought that West Texas Fire, I thought it was that you had to keep supplies on hand.
No, they'll fix our, we deal with them all the time with Todd and all them guys. And he said that he would make sure that the filters got replaced.
Okay.
And that everything was working on the machine and.
I thought it's funny that you can't use it for a dishwasher or what was it, parts washer?
Parts washer, yeah.
You gotta use it for what it's made for.
What it's made for. Yeah, well, that's our intention, is to,
Have you checked on different brands?
I've not checked on different brands, no, sir. I've only, other than what the Parks Department has provided and the history that we've purchased ice machines off of Amazon, et cetera. I just didn't want to go down that road. I didn't feel like that was the best move for the county ambulance service, was to go out to Amazon and buy an ice machine with our water and the water conditions that we use and utilize.
And then you put filters on.
Huh?
Put filters on.
I have to put filters on, yeah.
I
I don't have time to
bought
put
an
filters.
Amazon one over a year ago and it's still working fine with filters.
That's great.
I'm just, $6,000 a lot of money for it.
Well, I'm not asking to buy one.
But even still.
I'm asking to lease one.
Well, we've let everybody else do it. And you use the ice for not just for keeping cold drinks, right? I mean, you're using the ice for your patients at times.
Yeah, we can use the ice for a lot of different things. Fire support for, we can use it for a number of different things. It's a county government ice machine, so anybody in the county has access to it. So.
Although repairing anything anymore is horrendous in price. I don't care if it's an ice machine or what it is. But with the lease agreement, you get the filters is on them, probably monthly.
Yes, sir.
And anything happens to it, it's on them.
Yes, sir.
Is it high? Yes. But you're gonna use a lot of ice out of it
Yes, sir.
too.
We do provide the insurance on these, right?
The insurance part of the lease.
Yeah, the company.
Is it part of the
If
lease?
you lease it, it's on.
It's on them.
It's on them. Yes, it is. It is.
I've gotten references on both of them, and both of, have, the people that I've talked to on both companies have not had any issues with either one of them. But, to Commissioner Scott's, point, we could always go buy it and install it and deal with it ourselves. I'm not objecting to that. I just think it would be easier.
You don't want to do
You don't,
I don't
AP West says
suggest
do
that.
not do that. So,
suggest that.
So I'm good with whatever you guys want to do. You guys know how I am. I'll work with you however you want me to. I just thought that the lease agreement with Ice Machine would be the better option.
I think it is. I mean, yes, it costs more, but,
This one's got a buyout at $680 at the end of the 3 years.
Yeah, it's, both of them have a 600 something dollar in my house.
and you know, you may get one that lasts 30 years. I doubt it, but you might. I hate to see. Because if something happens to it, and you buy it, you've got to call them, call Todd, whoever, okay, to get it fixed. And if it holds their feet to the fire on the lease, they're gonna be more apt to get it fixed, replace it, blah, blah, blah. That's my opinion. I just, you know, there's some things that just ain't worth buying outright, but that's my opinion.
Do you have a preference on which?
No, sir, I do not have a preference on it. I always go with the cheaper one, but that's just me.
If you buy one, it's hard to get it
I just
worked out.
made it,
Yes, ma'am.
That was it?
Which one?
the cheaper
What'd you
one.
come, the cheaper one,
Yeah.
which is
The West Texas Fire.
West Texas
the
Fire.
Texas Fire, okay.
Right dog.
Sean,
Is there a second?
second,
Some experience.
Right dog.
Terry,
Not all in favor. Here recently.
yes,
Thank you, Jason.
And give Dan the sign, give Dan the permission to sign it.
All right, court to discuss and consider externship service agreement with WTC for certified medical assistant program in Scurry County Health Unit. Kyle, how are you today?
Good. Commissioners, Judge, thank you all. This is for WTC Certified Medical Assistant Program. I'm thinking they're starting, I don't know how long it's been away, but they are starting that back. They've got some students coming in February. So I was approached by them to see if they could do a clinical rotation at the health department. Now, this would be observation only, so no touching of any patient or giving a shot, and it's with parents or the patient's consent. So we would ask them before they even come back there if the students can observe. I think right now they have like 4 or 5 students. We wouldn't have them all at one time, but like maybe a couple, during the day. They're just looking for places for them to rotate, to do their clinical experience. I think they're going to Cogville and some of the daycares. But, so, I just presented this to y'all, to see how y'all want to proceed with this, if you do want to do it.
Well, I believe that any opportunity that we have to work with another entity and improve our community that in ways like this, that's gonna help out, even especially our students, that we should jump on that opportunity.
It's a good thing. We need to keep this program going. Any kind of medical program, it's very beneficial to our community for sure. One last note, I did talk to Dr. Morris about this. He was okay, our local health authority, so he was okay with it, if y'all are.
I don't see why you wouldn't, so I'll make the motion going into agreement with WTC for the internship.
Let me sign it.
Allow the judge to sign it.
All in favor? All right. What is it with ice at this time of year? Really, I'm talking about your agreement with Ready Ice on the golf course.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for your time. Unfortunately, I think I've wasted your time. I've just been communicating with these people. We would have to buy way too much ice for their minimum order to make it financially responsible.
Gotcha.
So, sorry about that.
table.
Thank you. Put a sign out at the, Bill, you can put a sign out at the gate, ice for sale, and anybody.
Yeah.
What,
That's not it.
We'll work together and come up with an agreement.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, court to consider installation of doors at the annex. And so, Todd did get back and says, looks like both companies have a 1-year warranty, but removal is not included in Walmart's proposal. Continental spells it out in their proposal that it's included in the price, and it did. Price-wise, it sounds like Continental is a good choice, but not sure if they're open to a different style lock. What different style locks?
I don't think there's really much of a difference. They're both reputable.
Yeah.
One of them is, American Association of Automatic Doors Manufacturers. The other one is with Stanley.
Right.
We have had experience with the Womack company. We just haven't had experience with Continental. So, but as far as the one-way locking or one-way only egress exit, that function, that program, it's in both of the systems as well. So that's what we want. I mean, we don't want it to lock because they might have a client still in there after hours, and we can't have that. They have to have
So would it be,
easy egress.
would the button be on the wall, or would it be a post outside?
I don't think it'd be a button. I think it's just as you walk up, it's gonna they'll open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be automatic, and like I said, if someone's in there and we set it, we program it, they can only come out, they can't go in. So you won't have an unlocked door.
Ricky, your thoughts?
Well, that was the whole deal, that it was unlocked on the weekends sometimes. But if they can't come in, but they can go out, then that's,
Okay.
we've gotten overzealous and been logging Jeremy in. So I thought we had dropped that because we hadn't done anything about it, so we're still going forward with that?
That's what we're gonna decide today.
We had trouble getting bids in the first place.
So how would that work with winter?
They'll open and close and the air will come in. It's gonna be the same way whichever doors you put in there. Because even with the ones that you hit a button and the door's open, they're gonna stay open for a period of time. And it'll be both sets of doors that we.
No, I mean, if we decide which company's gonna do it, how's it gonna work if they start it before the weather gets warm? That's gonna be
You wanna wait until the weather gets warm to install?
They can adjust the sensors as well.
Yeah, I think she means for installation with the doors being.
Yeah.
Let's think about doing it this weekend if it gets approved.
always a comedian,
Do what?
always a comedian.
So we have two quotes, 31,046 and 37,000. The Womack is the 37,000, the Continental is the 31. Is this something that court would entertain, and which one?
Well, Todd works with Walmart quite a lot, don't you?
Yes.
Mhm.
But they didn't put the removal in their bid, correct?
Right.
No, Stanley. Which one?
Walnut.
You didn't put removal? Well,
That's gonna be expensive.
yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And it's already 6,000 more.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Let's go with the one.
Continental.
Continental, Stanley doors.
Second.
John Continental.
There's your lead time right there. It'll be a while.
That one's at the library.
Yeah.
It'll be when it's warm.
Yeah, I'm telling
It'll
you,
be probably next Monday.
this week.
What's your definition of warm? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Okay. Discuss and consider request from Snyder Chamber of Commerce to pay a portion of the cost for the 4th of July fireworks, since it's our
Fireworks,
$250 an hour.
150, Scurry
150
County,
for
and
Scurry.
250 for America. So, I'm requesting assistance in helping defer the cost of our annual 4th of July celebration firework display. Again, this year is gonna mark two major milestones, which is the Scurry County's 150th anniversary and America's 250th anniversary. So, our fireworks are provided by Rich Fire LLC, and this is gonna be our 3rd year. And they are professional licensed pyrotechnicians handling a computer-controlled firework display. So, the total cost of the fireworks is $28,800. We are requesting for the Scurry County to help us pay $9,600. We will also be approaching the city council for a matching of $9,600 as well. So again, this is a free event for our community and encourages community pride and patriotism, and it supports our local businesses and tourism. The chamber also seeks out from our business community of we're gonna have to do sponsors as well. So our goal is the 9,600 as well. As far as additional profits that we get for that day, it's just from our vendors that we have out there. Other than that, entertainment, we ask for hot funds to help pay for the entertainment. But other than that, that's the only monies that are coming in to help pay for the fireworks. So again, we're asking the commissioners for 9,600.
Okay, and Sandra said that she loves to answer questions. She wants at least 20.
Hold on, let me get my head.
How much y'all have, does the chamber have in the bank?
It-
Money wise.
Money-wise, like total general account, off the top of my head, I would say 235,000.
Ready?
Can you?
Hot funds cannot be used for fireworks, by no means. Now, hot funds can be used for the entertainment. And we usually spend about $8,000 to $10,000 on entertainment. But hot funds cannot be used for fireworks, nor can they be used for Christmas decorations. And again, we do seek additional funds from the city council. And they've always been gracious enough to support us and give us about $10,000 a year, the last couple of years.
You know, I mean, my issue is if you got that much money in the bank, why are you asking for more?
Because we have other events. I mean, just because we have 235,000, I mean, we have operations, we have other events that we have to try to fund as well. I mean, we do get money from hot funds, but hot funds do not pay for the full event.
Right.
And this is a community-wide event, so, I just feel like everybody should come together and have one heck of a 150th anniversary.
How much are you gonna be promoting the 150th anniversary?
As much as we can, I think this year, in the past, we've always had we've never had a committee to do 4th of July, but we've always had support from the city. We've always had support from y'all because we have it out at the parks. So thank y'all for that. But I think this year we wanted to make it bigger and better just because it's 150 and we're gonna have a committee this year. So that way we can have different ideas. And as you saw last year, we didn't have a carnival. And this year we're struggling to have a carnival. The Lions decided not to pursue their part and bring in a carnival. And they've always gotten like 10 to 15% from gross profits or net profits. And this year, the chamber is working really hard to try to get a carnival, and as of right now, no success. We haven't had success on that yet, so.
Angela, where would the 9,800 come from?
96.
96.
Make it more than it was.
In the past, it's came from 409, 4,500, so that's where it would come from this time as well.
Well, I know it's for the community, and if you don't do something to help.
So you can't get all this 28,000 or whatever from donations, besides the county and the city?
Truthfully, no. Again, reason being is we hit our business community all the time. You know, there's other events that hit the business community, and truthfully, I think last year in sponsorship, we did reach our 15,000. Can we reach the 28? You know, I don't feel like we could without y'all's help.
I think we are, you know, it's a big year. It's 150 for us and 250 for the US.
Kind of like
I think we should.
1976, 1776. Yeah. But like I said, it's for everybody. I do have an issue with it, but are you sure the city and everybody else is?
Well, we'll be approaching the city next month. In the past, yes, sir, the last 2 years, the city has always put aside $10,000 to help us.
Right.
So yes, sir, they've always helped us.
Okay. And then the rest of it will be donations and.
Sponsorships, yes, sir.
Could you take some out of the chamber, the money they have?
That's a question I would have to ask my board. I do not, until I ask them, I do
Right.
not. I just know that we, every year, even for all of our events, we seek out sponsorship to help pay for all of the events. And we have 5 to 6 events each year.
Right, yeah, I get that, but it looks like to me that county, city, everybody, you know, the chamber put in the same amount of money, which $9,600. But I think, I'm not against it, but when you have that much money in the bank, I think the chamber should foot a little bit of the bill. Y'all do a lot.
We do, and I feel like we foot a lot of the bill just because we're out there working hard to make a fabulous event for our community. Again, $235,000 is not a lot of money in account when it comes to operations and, daily operations each year.
Right.
So, you know, that's why I'm here seeking for additional funds to help us out.
Well, since it's for the community and it's another opportunity for us to work with others, I make a motion that we pay the 9,600 portion, a portion of the cost of the 4th of July fireworks.
Yeah, and I think too that, you know, we're losing, people are losing their patriotism. And this is a good time and a good reason to have a huge celebration on the 4th of July to do this. So I second it.
Remind me, this one's gonna be bigger
Correct.
than usual.
Yes, sir. Is there any way that you can get that, what is it, the ladder?
Oh, the ladder truck?
The ladder truck, the fire truck, so that way we can put a big old,
That is Snyder Fire Department.
okay. It would be a great addition out there if we had that.
could, absolutely.
Yes.
I would love to see that too.
Hit them up for donations.
Okay, I'll do that too, sir, and I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
So we have a motion and a second, all in favor? All opposed? Okay.
I knew there was enough people.
Whatever you think. All right, approval of monthly treasurer's personnel report and treasurer's monthly report. Yea or nay?
kind of looked over it. It's November, December, and I will have for next month.
Okay, perfect.
But do you have any questions?
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's monthly personnel report and monthly.
She said she's gonna have it next.
We don't have, so those are no action on either one?
Right.
Okay.
All right, approval of county auditor's December 2025 monthly financial report, which is found online.
Make a motion to approve the county auditor's December 2025 report.
Second.
All in favor? Certified revenues, none. All right, approval of line item transfers and budget amendments.
I have a couple.
Perfect time.
Yeah, she's gonna wonder why. Okay, line item, I only have two line item transfers. The first one is for the county attorney's office into public officials liability insurance, $676,000 out of maintenance agreements. This is an increase in the premium due to the assistant county attorney. And then the other one is the DA's office for the exact same thing, but it's $23. And this is also out of their membership and dues. This is due to an increase in their premium due to having the assistant DA.
Okay.
No line item transfer.
That was the line item transfers. No budget
No
amendments.
budget. All right, motion to approve the budget. Line item transfers as presented.
All in favor? All right. Accounts payable?
Accounts payable is $2,134,031.81. There's a debt payment for the LE complex of $877,275 included in that.
Like bills.
Second. All in favor? All right. We do not have an executive session for this meeting. We will for the next 3 meetings because we will be doing department head meetings. With that said, we will adjourn. Let's see if I can take the motion. I've got all these down. So, sign.
Thank you.